It's on to another week of the Golden Bachelorette, and these Golden Kings are gearing up for more fun and more heartbreaking stories that will tear us viewers to shreds. And speaking of golden guys, it's the return of Golden Bachelor Gerry, who's here to sweep in with some horrible advice. Advice that just might ruin Joan's day. So let's take a look at this latest preview and see what we can sleuth out. And, as per usual, please, no posting any outright spoilers unless you can back it up with sleuthing, and a link to the full preview is in the description.
Oh! You know, our brains think we're 25, and our bodies are like, no, you're not.
Oh! I'm having problems. Oh! Oh, it's like you may have tweaked a hamstring there.
So yes, next week is the traditional sports date. No making them do strip dodgeball or contact football or something like they usually do. This is the golden version of the show, so we're gonna play a nice and easy game of kickball, and they're already getting injured anyway. And based on the season preview, this looks like a big moment for Charles. Maybe he gets the winning run or makes some big play. Who knows? But hopefully this means he can claw through one more episode or rose ceremony before his eventual elimination. I mean, I've tried to see if there's any other footage beyond this date that has Charles in it from the other preview, as he's the life essence of this show, sorry Joan. And there's this shot, but this also seems to be from next week, as there's at least 13 men here and, well, 14 men left on the show, so this could happen during Pascal's one-on-one. Maybe they're embracing Jonathan, who gets emotional when he's announced as getting the other date for the week. There's also this strip dance group date, but we don't get a clear view of all the men here. Either way, I think 4 episodes is his limit, if he even makes it there. But don't worry, I imagine production will be pulling him into any extra promo stuff that they can, just like they did with the popular contestants from The Golden Bachelor. So if it is Charles's final week, I doubt it will be the last we see of him. But let's keep going.
It's amazing what we'll do for a pretty lady.
Pascal makes me feel young and kind of sexy. He has a zest for life.
Tu es très belle.
Thank you.
Well, next week it looks like Pascal is going to be getting a one-on-one, and it's this luxury date. Because who better to get an expensive, over-the-top, take a private plane to Vegas, drive a sports car, try on fancy clothes, get a private concert from Wayne Newton? Who better to get all that than the guy who could probably pay to do all that stuff anyway? I mean, this guy was offering Greg $100 a pop to do his laundry for him. $100 like it was nothing.
I pay you $100 the load.
Okay.
So I offer one of them $100 to do a full load of laundry for me.
Do I have to iron them?
Yes, you do.
Well, production says, nah, none of the guys who would never experience this kind of thing in their life are going to get it. It's going to Pascal, who's probably like, ooh, oui, this is just like a random Tuesday for me. But I'll still be interested to see how this date goes, as I don't really have a read on Pascal and Joan as a couple. Doesn't seem like a big match for me, but the guy's got lots of confidence and is probably fun to be around, so there's that. But let's now move on to our next one-on-one for the episode.
I'm actually on the top of the world right now.
I've missed you.
I'm already forming strong feelings for some of these men.
Oh my God. This is a fairy tale. How can you not fall in love?
So here we're moving on to the part of the season where it's 2 one-on-ones for the week and a single group date, with the other one-on-one for the week going to Jonathan. They'll be doing some horseback riding through the California hills, and his stock is rising quite a bit in these latest episodes, first being crowned prom king and now this. Plus we get a little check-in with Chalk, which reinforces the idea that he's one to remember and will be going far, plus Jordan is seen here on the group date, and we get the end of Pascal's one-on-one. And just by virtue of them having this moment on the high roller Ferris wheel, this feels like the kind of footage we often see at the end of a date celebrating its success. Kind of like the Disneyland fireworks with Chalk last episode. So we can assume it goes very well and Pascal gets a rose. Not to mention there's also footage still to come with him seen in the season preview. But alright, this next section starts out romantic but turns into some drama, so let's get to that.
Looking into her eyes, I felt that soul connection.
I haven't had these feelings since my husband. People keep asking me, are you 100% ready have love in your life, but I'm not really.
Okay, so before we get into this stuff, we start this section of the preview with more romance. Gerry on the group date, Guy before the rose ceremony, and Jonathan here on his one-on-one, which seems to also go well, so I expect him to carry on another episode. But here we see some drama for next episode, Joan expressing that she's been asked if she's 100% ready to have love in her life, and that maybe she isn't, or at least it's a hard thing to work through. Now, did one of these guys tell that to her? No, I have a theory as to what actually sparks this. We'll get to that real soon, but let's continue on. Up ahead will be the last section of the preview, and it's going to help us with who's getting roses next week and who sparks this dramatic moment.
Because John was a huge part of my life. And I'm sorry.
She probably wants to walk away.
Have you considered the possibility that your guy is not here?
And there the preview ends, with good old Golden Gerry coming in with the worst advice ever. I mean, I'm actually so interested in seeing how this conversation goes. Does he really just drop fears into her head? Or is there more context to this than how it looks in the previews? 'Cause please tell me there is, but honestly, I have no faith. So first off, we have this moment where Gil is saying she probably wants to walk away, she won't, and this is a fake out. I mean, maybe Gil does say this in the same context that the preview presents it as, but this could also easily be him saying something like she probably wants some space or something. But I do want to mention that this shot is actually zoomed in. We get a better look at this moment in the season preview where we see that this is Pascal who Gil is talking to, along with the rose he receives from his one-on-one. However, we also see that Gil has a rose as well. Meaning, unless this drama goes down after the rose ceremony, which I doubt right now, Gil receives the group date rose for next week. And with the latest controversy that's come out and the announcement that the show will be giving him less screen time, it'll be interesting to see how they handle showing this. But alright though, what do we think sparks this moment with Joan? Who do we think is the person questioning if Joan is 100% ready for love? Well, my current theory is it's Golden Bachelor Gerry. That even though they show this moment and follow it up with Gerry coming to talk to Joan, it's actually going to be the other way around. That Gerry comes out for a typical advice segment that we often see on the show, and expresses stuff like, is your guy actually here? And maybe continues with a, are you sure you're ready for love? Then Joan comes in upset and expresses, yeah, I'm not quite sure, to the guys. 'Cause I mean, otherwise, who is it? Does one of these men actually have the audacity to go, Joan, are you sure you're ready for this? Does Joan accidentally hear one of the Bachelor interns talking behind her back or something? For now, I'm gonna go with Golden Gerry blabbing, but I guess we'll see. And as for who's going home, well, we're already at 14 men, and this is expected to be a shorter season, so I'll say we're going to cut it down to a top 4 by the end of episode 5. Episode 6 being hometowns, 7 the tell-all, 8 fantasy suites, and 9 the finale, if they're doing 9 episodes. So next week, I'm expecting 3 to go home. If there are 9 men here on this group date, and 2 others getting one-on-ones for the week after next episode when this happens, that means our 14 is going down to 11. We know Gil gets a rose, Dan, Keith, and Mark can be seen here, Guy and Chalk are going nowhere as we have later footage with both of them, Jonathan and Pascal get roses next week, Jordan also has footage ahead. Now, someone I don't see here is Gerry, though I suppose it's possible he could be on a one-on-one. But compared to some of the other guys, I don't know about that. And actually, while I was editing this video together, I did a last little bit of sleuthing, and I noticed this image from the season preview. One that looks like it could be a possible elimination of Gerry, and if you look at the jewelry on Joan's finger and match it to this shot, this might be the same night, so this could be our best evidence to suggest that Gerry is going home next week. But alright, back to whatever I was talking about in the video. He's on the chopping block along with both Charleses, Kim, and Greg. Although, out of desperation, I'm saying both Charleses stay and just want to put that into the universe. So that's it for this preview breakdown for week 3 of The Golden Bachelorette. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts and theories down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
Have you considered the possibility that your guy is not here?